You're beautiful but unsatisfied since day one. You were getting teased and it scarred you when you were young. Now you're getting older and you've been on the grind. Your paper off the scale so you feel like it's time. So you got a nose job, that's the primary thing. People tease you as a kid and for some reason you hit. Always into high fashion, girl, you heavy like lead. Liposuction out your shell like a chicken and egg. Feeling confident but now you're becoming obsessed. First your nose, then your weight, now your butt and your breast. It's a vanity fair, cosmetic overdose. Fiending for a next operation like it was dope. Now you feel the need to skin pill, your skin's no good. But if those around you were real, they'll tell you the truth. Just because you spending thousands, that don't make it alright. Had one problem, now it's many going under the knife. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on. Vanity Fair, yeah. Changing one or two things, cool girl, do you? Do you wanna be beautiful and look like you? Or do you wanna look like someone you saw in a magazine, a video, but not in the raw? I like nice shaped bodies, bikinis Brazilian, but too much of anything just isn't appealing. Some people spend a lifetime, even a million. No grace like those unhappy when chilling. A girl with a big butt, big lips, small hips is what we all love to see, and men dream about this. There is nothing wrong with getting something broken fixed. Some women get a breast job cause cancer assists. Some women want to please their man and insist. And a woman really loves you if she wants to do this. But abuse ain't the same as intention with care. So be careful of the drug called the Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, faceline, look at your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on.
I guess I should add me to the stream, huh? What y'all up to? What you doing on this Thursday? It's Thursday, right? Hey, Daphne. Hey, Sheba, Amethyst, Trisha, Cool Gamer, Dear Krabby, Earth Angel, Solo, Miss Lee, Sarah, Moonlight, Mother of Two Boys, Pugs, LG, Glamady, Creative Witch, Sugarfly. What are you guys doing? Good morning, Queen Bella. Cancel all tragedy pimps, or afternoon, wherever you're at. I got questions. I got a lot of questions. So let's start here. If you're new to me or to like this whole YouTube thing, you might be clueless on what I'm going to talk on today because I'm kind of clueless, but we're going to do this together because I was stumbling around and I was actually working on a history lesson of the frosted tips for Snarkmas. And I happened to come across some videos of some characters that I have some issues with currently and have all along because they co-sign all this bullshit by the tragedy pimps, misinformation cronies, whatever you want to call them. They're mods. And I came across when two of them, one of them used to cam up all the time and co-sign, and the other one was in a live. I was taking screenshots of the frosted tips to do Snarkmas, and here I just sat back and listened for 3 minutes, and lo and behold, I have a lot of fucking questions. And I'm really disappointed because I have not heard much mention of what was done to Jose Roman by anybody. So let me start there. But I've heard so much about all of these other stories, all these other cases, and I have yet to hear anybody mention Jose Roman. I don't know where this is going to lead, but I have a lot of questions, and I'm going to go back here because I have a problem. Yep, a little bit about jaundice and his mods. I'm super disappointed. Super disappointed. I don't even know like the full story yet and don't even understand it. So that's why I'm going to do this and we're going to watch some of this together because these are the same questions we've been asking now. The same things about mental health that we've been talking about now. And I want to take it back a minute and let you hear these co-signers, the misinformation cronies, the heels on the ground crew talk about things. And then I want to move forward and we're going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I'm not going to deep dive into Summer Wells' case. That's been done a ton. And I don't feel like I could even help that situation whatsoever. It's a very sad story. But I want to talk about what the misinformation cronies did in this piece of it. And I want you to hear some of their words because I was bothered by some of this right away. So I'm sure some of you will. And maybe some of you have seen this. And there goes the cat up the curtains. Let me get ready and share this. The cat likes to sit above my computer every time I do this. All right, this falls under the fair use. Again, we're not going to watch a whole lot of it, but I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and I hope some of you have answers to some of it. I did already spend some time on Reddit. I also watched some videos of some of these tragedy pimps calling a family member of Jose's and recording her on the phone back in May. Like, this has been going on, but why isn't anybody talking about this? Why isn't this being discussed? Michelle? She's threatening to dox me? That's okay. Sorry. I'm like, wait, what? It's totally okay. Anyways, moving on. I just want to know what the hell is happening here. Why is this not being discussed anymore? So let's get into this.
Lives. I tried to take the other one down, but YouTube is not showing it to me. StreamYards is not showing it to me, and I don't know why it's there, but it's there.
Oh
So,
no.
Goose, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I just couldn't figure out how to upload a picture, so sorry. But I'm
Okay.
here.
So, what did everybody think of that stream? Thoughts?
Let me give a little bit of a background on who's Jose was. Jose, to my understanding now, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I wasn't around for this case. I don't know how it all broke down. That's why we're looking into this and just going to talk about some of the bigger pictures here with tragedy pimps in general and how dangerous misinformation spreading can be. And we're going to kind of talk about this. He stayed with the Wells for a period of time and knew them personally. And I don't know who initially put him out as a potential suspect or somebody as a person of interest. I don't know if law enforcement did that or if it was the YouTubers. I don't know, but something happened and he got put in the middle of the case and ran all over social media. That's the big pieces I do know. Unfortunately, Jose has passed away. And at this point in time, this is from 8 months ago. This is from 8 months ago on Justice for All. This is like on the fly, y'all. This is how my brain works. I legit was looking for something else, legitimately looking for something else, just goofing off for Snarkmas. And started to kind of like look at things and I went, wait a second here. So this is kind of a history lesson together that we're going to take, but I have questions. Why is nobody talking about this? Justin was one of the first people to interview this man, along with Chris McDonough of the Interview Room, who we just talked about. There was, who else interviewed this man? A few other people, but he was drug all over social media. I was on Reddit forums and saw some of the pictures that were done of him, some videos that were done of this man. And to my understanding, law enforcement never named him as a suspect. Is that correct? Can anybody confirm that? Jose did lie about the timeline. Yeah, I know that there was some misinformation that Jose gave on top of Justin hunted Jose down, brought him on YouTube. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, we're going to go into this a little bit. He was not even in Tennessee when she went missing. Yeah, wasn't in Tennessee when he passed away either, was he? To my understanding. And can anybody confirm, has a cause of death ever been released? Anybody know? Please, only if you have information, if you're saying something as a fact in the comments, please make sure that you can verify it with proof. And if you are saying something as fact, like this is his obituary, this is his confirmation of death, please inbox it to me if you're stating it as fact. Just because I don't want to spread any misinformation on this. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss Lee. That's what I came to. Okay. Okay. So, confirmed but unconfirmed that he took his own life. That's been the biggest understanding. The girlfriend said he did it to himself. Other than that, it's not been confirmed. Okay. Okay. So this man was brought into, like, he lived with the Summerwells family for a period of time, wasn't there when she went missing, but because of the internet, they got a hold of his information. He was around, answered some questions, spread some misinformation himself, like we've seen done in every case by the victims, the people they bring in. It always happens. There's always misinformation given, it seems like, and you kind of got to weed through it. But he was put out here by Spanky, the Interview Room, and a few other people interviewed him. But pay attention to what is said in this, and then we're going to jump into what happened, how they announced him passing away. So this is previous to him passing. This is right after they interviewed him. Okay. The link for this direct video is in the description.
Somebody, hold on, I just saw something. I'm sorry, this is Ron Jose's life. This is the thing. Yeah, YouTube is having issues lately. Guys, we can be kind and still get our point across. That's what, as creators, that we need to learn. It's
By the way, the woman sitting next to him is ICU. The black box is Goose. This is from 8 months ago when these dumbasses started co-signing this shit big time when he came on the scene. They'd been around, lurking, hanging out with Molly, stuff like that. But this is when they start really co-signing his bullshit. But I want you to pay close attention to something Goose says that's coming up. Because I don't like her, as y'all know, but I don't like her because of her own bullshit.
not about bashing someone or destroying their lives or their families' lives for that matter. It's not about getting them fired. It's not about going real life. Um, you know, in a sense, um, Jose is also a victim. I mean, of course, he's a grown adult and he clearly made some very poor decisions in life. But
Spanky, when I'm done with you, you might want to just leave the country because I am so like, y'all, if you could see my blood pressure, my pacemaker is actually trying to slow my heart rate down today, like because it's so high. I am livid. Why is nobody talking about this? How is this not being discussed? How do we forget about these people? It's one thing that Letitia got a whole shit ton of money off of a man who's in a coma because of an alleged suicide, and Molly profited greatly off of that too. But let's go back. These clowns were involved in more that this is all I said it the other day. This has had a tone of mental health, exploiting mental illness all the way through, and it sure as fuck does. And if you don't like cussing, please leave because I am fired up and disgusted. And I'm disgusted that nobody's talking about this. Why are people so scared of them? This has got to stop.
I mean, I don't think Jose ever thought that this was going to happen. And I applaud Chris and the lab. They did a phenomenal job, as they always do.
Right.
Um, again, I think we all still have questions. But as the main things that I really wanted cleared up, which Chris and the lab did, was they talked about number one, that the Jose Roman, that other creators were dragging him through the mud, uh, that it wasn't him. I mean, it's not like, it's not like ICU and I are going to protect this man whenever we think he is a RSO and he's not. So,
I've got questions, Spanky. Haven't you been almost kind of protecting Dolly's brother? I mean, that's besides the point. But you sure like to point up the fingers at everybody else. Let me guess, you didn't have nothing to do with any of this and having his name put out there? Not a single thing? Michael, I would love to know. I would love to fucking know. Juju, you didn't? I didn't either. You can tell. I'm like pissed. And it's sad because looking at like pictures and videos and stuff, why is nobody like, I mean, there's been a few people that have talked about this, but why? It's just disgusting. But let's continue on. I'm going to speed it up until Goose comes on, and then I'm going to slow it down because she talks at hyper speed and hyperventilates herself, and he's like the monotone king. So we're going to go back and forth on speeds. Just bear with me.
so I think that was one thing that we wanted cleared up. I will slow chat. You'll just have to give me a minute. And another thing was, what was the second thing? I don't even remember.
Hold
on,
the date.
Oh,
Did
well,
they clear up the date?
no, I don't think that wasn't it. It was thank you, Vet Girl. I'm on a new stream and it's hard for me. Okay, thank you, Vet Girl, for your $20. Jose, if you need assistance, please reach out. Medical health provider, please. Yeah, thank
The
you.
good thing is he has a really good therapist, and so that's one thing he's been able to stay in touch with them like during this whole process. So that's a blessing, fortunately. But I think people forget.
I'm on a new stream and it's hard for me. Okay, thank you, Vet Girl, for your.
Okay, first question. This is what I caught. Read the comment. Jose, if you need assistance, please reach out to your medical health provider, please. So they knew this man was struggling. Now listen to what Goose herself says.
$20. Jose, if you need assistance, please reach out. Medical health provider, please. Yeah, thank
The
you.
good thing is he has a really good therapist, and so that's one thing he's been able to stay in touch with them like during this whole process. So that's a blessing, fortunately. But I think people forget that being accused of somebody who has SA'd somebody is literally, personally, I think so, as a survivor of that's the worst thing that you could accuse somebody of when they're not. I mean,
Goose, what about stabbing your children? Potentially stabbing your children? What about murmuring your husband? What about poisoning your children? Starving your children? What about all of those accusations? Oh, plus the list just goes on and on and on about the accusations you've made or sat there and co-signed. Shut the fuck up, Goose, before you get punted right back to where you belong.
Of
that's
course.
like,
He's a victim of this.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was essayed in prison, you know, and he talked about that, you know, a lot whenever he was on our channel, which is very unfortunate for anybody to, whether you're in prison or not, it doesn't matter. It's still terrible, you know. So I'm gonna do it to 60 seconds, which is okay. So it should take place now. Yeah, I mean, I will put Jose's Cash App if you want to help him. If you don't, no worries. It's, you know, I'm not asking for anybody to help him. There's just been people in here that asked for it. I in no way will have, I don't want to be a part of any money that anybody sends anybody to. But I will ask him for his Cash App.
Interesting. You're going to ask him for his Cash App. Do you guys not see the same freaking thing that's happened time and time again? Tell me what's different. What the fuck is different? What has changed? And why is nobody talking about this? How do they continually get away with this shit? Yep. Cash apps for an interview. Absolutely freaking disgusting.
I did one thing that I was excuse me. One thing that I did was when he was in the interview room, he was talking about the bunk beds, and I was like, no, something's wrong here. And I what's that sound? Is that you, Goose?
No, it's me. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. It's not about no, we all feel bad for him, but we do feel bad, Katie, that I'm trying to find it, that he did lose his job over being saying that he was a RSO and things. So you know what? I feel bad for anybody who loses their job. And
But didn't they cost somebody their job? Oh, wait. How many people have they cost employment? Dre had to take her entire business page down. Don Wells lost his employment. Did Billy lose hers? I mean, that's could be a different situation. She might have already lost it before they got involved. But how many other people have they harassed and have had significant loss of financial anything, whether it be assistance that they were getting, whether it be jobs? Now tell me again, what is different this time? For you simps in the back, come forward. I would love to hear you tell me what is different in this situation. and how you're rectifying this. Just move on like it didn't happen. That's what we do. We just keep it moving. Come on in. Sit on down. I'd love to hear your responses. Wash your hands of it, right? Skyzy, I agree with that. I agree with that fully. That's why I was like, well, that's a total different situation, but they still messed up there, in my opinion. The whole situation's a mess. That's why it is what it is. They just wash their hands of everything. Let's continue, though.
Including Don. I don't care who it is. Nobody deserves to lose their livelihood. It's just the way it is. That's just the way I stand. People need to feed their family. People need to feed themselves, you know.
Especially when you haven't done that. I mean, that's even worse.
Of course.
You know, it's like, yeah. I think that's also like a prime example people should take away from this, that just because you see a name and you see that the person might look similar or the age might be similar or whatever, you need to fact check it, triple fact check it, you know, everything. Because at the end of the day, there was like 50 different similar like Jose Romans in that area. And, you know, it just, yeah, it's just not okay.
You know,
woo-hoo-hoo, the things I want to say to these people. Oh. And there's a bunch of you that actually are friends with these people, that co-sign what these people do. Are you freaking insane? Have you people lost your brains? You don't triple check anything. You don't check shit to begin with, let alone double, triple anything, goose. So you might want to just sit your ass down. Because if there was ever a time and place that you fact checked anything, you haven't in months. So I highly doubt that you did back then. You make up stories to fit a narrative that you guys try to spin. It has all been shown time and time again. But your ass got on this panel and made a comment that this man had contact with the mental health professional. Basically, it was okay, right? Because you guys know everything. Oh, you got him, right? Sick mofos. That's ICU in the middle.
I mean, just to be honest with you, I mean, Jose Romans are a dime a dozen. I mean, they're just a very common game, you know. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find this, guys. While I'm doing this.
Oh, you're fine.
By the way, if you missed it yesterday, by their logic, if you've ever been in Idaho, know somebody that might have visited Idaho, may have had a drug conviction in the past, maybe has talked to somebody at a gas station somewhere, you are probably on their list of suspects because of their line of thinking. We went through that yesterday a little bit further, but that's their line of reasoning. And now these mofos months ago were like, oh, you know, it can really hurt people if you're out there saying so-and-so looks alike. What? And then this mofo is pulling up a guy that has a warrant for a drug charge and trying to link him up to brutally murdering 4 college students. How have all of you sat by and not said shit? Where is the outrage for Jose and his family? We just keep it fucking moving, right? Because there's another case that they can glom onto and do the same fucking thing. And enough people get disgusted and move on, and they get shut down because, God forbid, anybody speaks facts out here. So then these guys just keep it moving on to the next.
What did you think, ICU?
I'm glad that Chris interviewed him, and like you, hopefully, you know, we got a few things straight. The bunk beds.
I want to tell you about it. I already texted him about it.
Okay.
The bunk beds that was taken on him, and Goose actually mentioned it earlier, and I didn't even realize it. The bunk beds that we were talking about just a minute ago, the bunk beds that they were on in that photo was downstairs. They had gotten bunk beds apparently after they had left upstairs, another set.
Okay.
So that's what that was. And I'll read you his text before we make any more comments about that.
Yeah, because I do have a question about that.
Okay. Mods, if you want to click this. There is zero, if you want to support him, great. If not, it's nobody's, asking personally, but I just see people.
Thunderstruck, there actually was a set. If you go back and look at the video, it's so like right as you come down the stairs and you go to the right to go into that one area, there was a set of bunk beds in like the if you're facing, say, like Summer's room, it would be to the left in that corner sort of. But to me, that set of bunk beds looked very small, like kid-sized bunk beds. So that's my man. They could have taken them apart and they could have brought them, taken them out the door and brought them upstairs or something.
So I said, what about the bunk beds? I said, you said you knew that the bunk beds were there, but in Chris's interview, you said the bunk beds weren't there. He said, yes, the ones upstairs, those are new. I said, you told me that that the bunk beds were there when you were there. And he said, no, the ones upstairs, the ones in the basement was there. And I put, okay, so there was one upstairs and there was one set downstairs. He said, when I was there, they only had the ones in the basement. And I said, make sure you got to be very specific with us in the crime community.
You got to be very specific with those in the crime community. Well, these motherfuckers aren't true crime because nobody with any type of morals or ethics would pull the shit that they do. But let me just say this. Be very specific because these motherfuckers will twist your words for their narrative and story, and they will continue, and they will fake documents and texts. We've seen it all happen. This is disgusting. Goose and ICU simp for both of them. I think she came from Molly. Obviously, this chick was with Molly before. I think Molly and Justin's going on his year. That's why I was doing a year in review of the frosted tips that are terrible and stumbled upon this fucking shit show. And I am so disgusted that nobody has been talking about this. Like, I'm disgusted that I haven't even found this yet because I haven't dug. There's too much. But this is huge. This man is no longer with us. And this is what they did to him. And we're just moving on from it. We just move on, huh?
He said, I was, Justin, go back to our interview. I specifically said the bunk beds was not there upstairs, only in the basement. So the bunk beds.
So when he was there, then there was no beds at all upstairs, just bunk beds down in the room where he stayed.
I don't know if there was. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there was not bunk beds upstairs.
Right.
There was bunk beds downstairs. The one of him and Allie. That's okay. I think that's what he said. There was just mattresses or something in Chris's interview.
Right. Yes, but I was just trying to clarify, like, no actual beds. So, like, when I think of a bed, I think of not just a mattress. So I was just trying to clarify that part.
I wish the God I was set up with Google. Oh, honey, it's fine if you
Some people in chat, Justin, were asking if you could pin the cash.
If I know how to cash, if I can do that. Becca 999 thank you, Becca. Justin, I'm glad you brought Jose to us and gave CM a chance to interview him as well. Great job. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Chris is the only person that I knew that we could reach out to that had no agenda whatsoever. You know what I mean? And
fuck these people. And fuck all of you that support this shit. This man lost his life.
And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to any other creators or anything, but there are a few others that I could think of that, would do a really good job. But I know Chris is kind of, I consider him the godfather of this case. And he also has, he has law enforcement experience. I don't have law enforcement experience. And so that was just one thing that I reached out to the interview room. Jose reached out to the interview room. I talked to Josh with the lab and stuff. So it did work out. The other thing was, I was.
So Sky, his sister, there's no proof that he's dead. I wonder who you are. So there's no proof that Jose is dead? Is that what you're saying, Sky? Do you have proof of this? Do you have proof that there's no proof he's passed away, that his sister was lying? I'm assuming, since I'm sure you do have proof. I said what I said. Do you have proof that you can back that up, that he's not gone? Seems to me all of that did, oh my Lanta, that's what they did with this too. Same thing. Same fucking thing. Same thing they did with Marvon. Started calling the funeral homes, and are you kidding me? You're fucking joking. Boxer mama. I'm like, this is just wild. Sorry, y'all. I'm reading your comments because there's like, wow. Why did can I just ask, like, why did everybody move on? For those of you in the comments, why did everybody just drop this and say no big deal and just move on? Was there any reasoning? Did anybody really even cover this or call it out? Was there channels that covered this and called it out? Yeah, I said that. Frustrated. They said that ICU found him. That's ICU, Just Jake. Oh my Atlanta, I'll take your word on this because I know that there's enough here that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Okay, Mellow One, I thank you. Thank you, Mellow One, for saying that. So that's what they did to his family. So wow. Frustrated, gotcha. That's what I was thinking. Wow. So they did the same thing. Called around all of this stuff. Didn't this mofo, well, he says he's the first to break it. God. Okay, let's continue.
Was just glad that they said, Josh and them, that Jose was not there the day Summer went missing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That should be enough.
Tara said the cash app for him is not right.
So right there, why was this any further then? This is crazy. Rebecca, it seems like a big one, depending on which angle you want to take it from too. Like the Summer Wells angle itself is a big rabbit hole, and then you've got all the pieces off of it, and this is one of those. I'm so confused. No, Michael's good. Constance Sue, wow. I was going to ask you a question now. I'm just blown away. How? I just can't understand how they still have so many followers when they have done this so many times now. This has been repetitive. This happened May is when JLR made the phone call to the family and recorded it and posted it on his timeline. Is that correct? It was May. So this butts right up to then they started with the Marvon story. This is crazy. Yeah, oh my Lanta, there's too many people that are good with their bullshit and just keep it moving. Oh, MM's here. Frustrated. So that's what happened. It's the same exact thing. So if I'm right, this popped off about 8 months ago. They harassed the ever-loving hell out of this guy. He ends up deceased, and we're missing a whole lot in between. But the man wasn't even present when the crime happened. Should have never been involved to begin with. Then he's drug all over social media. They do all sorts of stuff. They send him money for interviews, blah, 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 do all their normal thing. They get called out by a lot of channels. People are starting to see what happens. And then she recycled her content and grabbed an audience from Facebook right after this. Is that correct? And I'm actually asking questions because I want to know, and I know some of you guys know the answers to this. I'm just sick. Just fucking sick. This was breaking right before the Marvon story happened. That's why they were so hell-bent. Oh my gosh. There's so many things that are just like popping off in my head right now. But we're the insane ones that there's not a tone of mental illness underneath all of this. And it's always the same crew involved. Oh, are you, Michael? Are you doxing somebody? Don't be doing that. I put you in timeout for 5 minutes because I don't know whose stuff that was. You might be singing a song for all I know. I don't know. Sorry if you were, but this is disgusting. Hey, MM. I was down a rabbit hole looking at frosted tips and found that there is a man who's deceased who they've done this stuff to. And I'm just blown away. But then there's people in my chat saying that he's not deceased or there's no confirmation that he's even deceased. And I'm just like, I'm so disgusted because people forget how serious this is. These are lives these are human beings. Solo, that's okay. Hey, Bad Apple. We're exploring the Jose story and Justin and what Goose said about all of this. That's where we're at. Where I didn't know anything about Jose. I knew nothing. I've never heard out of every story that's been mentioned, and maybe I missed it, but this is a name that nobody has mentioned. Not a single one, to my knowledge, nobody has told me, and maybe I missed it because there's been a ton. But if this has been mentioned, it has been tiny, tiny. Constance Sue, thank you for confirming that for me. And that's the thing. Please don't go harass this man's family and do not that's not what the goal of this is. What I'm trying to say is what they did to this man and his family should not be okay. And why you can talk about this without degrading his family and causing them more strife. But what was done to this family cannot be overlooked and just, okay, we're going to stop talking about it and let him move on, because guess what? They keep doing it off of right after Jose they jumped into Marvon because they recycled a following from Facebook. Then she's been trying to do it from TikTok, and thankfully nothing will grab. Oh yeah, like I'm blown away. Hey, Rhett's mom. Makeup mobster, don't hit any curbs, first of all. And secondly, wouldn't you know too that, oh, somebody came in my chat and was like, Alicia's trying to dox you in her Discord. And I'm like, trolls, leave me alone. Science girl is fine. Like, it's totally fine. They just start that shit. But that was the fun part that you missed earlier. Other than that, this is ICU and Goose sitting right next to Spanky. So they've been sitting there co-signing his shit for months. And people wonder why I have problems. Like, I can't stand these guys. Not a day has gone by that I've ever thought Goose or ICU were like great people. These bitches have been trying to dox me for months, and I've been saying it, and you guys are all like, whatever. No, some of you know because they have done the same things to you guys. But those people that simp for them are like, they're great people. No, they're not. Not only do they go after other creators who call them out, they go after victims and their families, and they create victims, and they re-victimize victims. This is an issue. Oh, and by the way, Joseph Scott Morris, you piece of ever-loving garbage flaming shit. I can't wait until YouTube actually does take your channel. You deserve to burn too. Yeah, Nikki. Yes. Crazy. Yeah, helping. Yep. I think Goose is the new assistant that's supposedly going to Florida with them. She's not even in hiding. Like, that's the thing, is people... She's just a dumbass. Oh, frustrated. So, YouTube found him. That's fucking insane.
I think also too, it made sense because he had interviewed the other people in this case, you know, so he has like probably possibly some knowledge that we might not even have with questions that he would ask Jose, you know, that might not be in, say, the videos that we've seen.
2, 0, 2, 1. Okay. I'm going to put it in chat again, but then I'll try to put it across the ticker. Let's see if that'll work. Let me see. This is probably not a good night to try this new stream thingy, but I need to get used to it. I've been...
Oh, my Lanta, you're sick. Wow. Wow. Law enforcement had already... Wow. Sorry, y'all. This is just... I am so disgusted. So disgusting. Yeah, she gave a list. We went over it the other day, Constancio. They specifically said Dolly was not going though, which I thought was hysterical.
Been paying for it, so try that Cash App and see if it works. Okay, the ticker. Where's the ticker? It's gonna make me ticked off. That's what it's gonna do.
What do you mean the ticker?
It's the ticker is the thing that's going down on the bottom here.
Maybe
Oh,
some
yeah.
of the other mods could just like, I mean, I know it's like a little bit more annoying than normal, but maybe they could just write it down or text it to themselves and then drop it periodically in the chat to make it easy.
Yeah. I'm just glad that I'll be looking forward to hopefully next week. I think you chose correctly. Yeah. Maybe he didn't have his jacket on, but I can tell you something. He's not a RSO, and he didn't do it. That's what I can tell you.
Mhm.
Well, and sometimes people get sunburned and then they cover up as they notice they're getting sunburned. So it wouldn't be that strange.
Of the evening, when you get a sunburn, you get cold as well. A lot of times, if you get really cold, it was sunburns as well.
Okay, we're gonna end with this on this stream because it's bullshit. They should have never continued. It should have been he wasn't there. Law enforcement has cleared him. End of story. That should have been it, in my opinion. Like, I don't get down like this. But I'm gonna take this one out, and we are going to play when he announced the passing. And trigger warning for anybody, but this is something else. He even says, I wanted to be the first to break the news. Piece of crap. Piece of crap. Give me just a second. I gotta find it again. He really went after Dawn too. Hold on. I gotta go back. Guess who joins him on this one? Freaking clown. I see you. Sorry if this bothers you guys. If it's digging up bad emotion for some people, please exit. Don't feel that you have to be here. But this is not. This is historical. They just keep doing this shit. Yeah, this is a tiny little part of it too, Hope's Echo, like a tiny part that isn't really being talked about that much currently. And I understand it's out of respect for the family, but there has to be something. This cannot continue to happen. All right, I'm going to mute and let's get into it.
Hello, all. How's everybody doing? It's been an eventful few days, to say the least. So as you can see in the title, I see you. Can you hear me? I need to turn this thing down because I'm going to be getting 1,000 messages. I see you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can.
Okay. So as you can see in the title, we wanted to bring this to you before it got out into the public. Jose has died. A little bit about this. I just want to tell mods, if people are not respectful in a time like this, then block them. It's just that simple. We're not going to throw around anybody's name who had nothing to do with this whatsoever related to other cases. So a few days ago, I got a message under one of my videos, and it talked about they needed to get in touch with me. Sorry. And I thought it was just they said they need to get in touch with me because something bad had happened to Jose. I thought it was a troll, and I didn't take anything to the comment. I didn't,
Teeny tiny mouse. First of all, if you're threatening to dox me, go ahead. You won't get anywhere with that. Touch my family all you want. I'll just handle it the way it needs to be handled. That doesn't scare me. The threat of doxing me because I'm bringing this up does not work around here at all. I had been noticing things through the Marvon story. That's how I ended up here. I have said it time and time again, and obviously you've been lurking in the background, so you know. But again, take your threat of me being doxxed and stick it up your fucking ass. Because at the end of the day, these people are pieces of shit. And that doesn't change. No shit. I've been saying that they've been doxing people for months. They've been threatening me for months. We've talked about that. I'm not concerned about me. This needs to end. They don't scare me. We know they've been attempting to dox me on top of everybody else. They've done it to everybody else. I might be new here, but I'm definitely not dumb.
So then I messaged Jose, and I didn't get an answer. And Jose always messages me back very quickly. And then, of course, what ICU and I do, we started digging, and we got in touch with his family. And I'm not even sure if a lot of his family members knew. And then we got a little bit of information in last night while I was live, or last night, with pertaining to the children that was gunned down in Texas. So it was kind of like a tragedy on a tragedy. And then, we stayed up a lot last night searching for more answers. And we got in touch with the family again this morning, and it was confirmed by the family. But then we contacted TBI to notify, his passing as well. And we also confirmed that through other means.
Hold on. So these mofos were the ones who notified the TBI? Oh, okay. Sorry, teeny tiny. Yes, they've been threatening me for months. They have been threatening to dox me for months. That's been the game that they've been playing. Sorry, I genuinely thought you were saying like they're going to dox you, so you better shut up, because that's what they've been doing. That's their people come to, that's what they do to me. That's what their people have done. So you saying that sounded just like one of their people. But thank you for the warning. Which I'm just so sick of them like using that. It's ridiculous. Like, I am so sick of the threats of them coming to my house, doing this, calling me fat and ugly, all of this shit, because I'm calling them out. I'm so sick of all the stupid drama on the back end of people that say they're against this bullshit. In the meantime, try to throw distractions for them to keep this going, because the drama profits for people. I'm just sick of it all. Basically, I'm sick of everybody. But sorry about that. No, it's been absolutely fucking the threat that's been used over and over again. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, what they need to remember is, why are they going to they're only doing that because they have a lot to hide. That's why they're doing that. Nobody that's successful or that has a brain is looking people up. Who said that? Anybody know? Anybody remember? Nobody that's important is sitting around looking people up. Yeah, there's a lot of them that instantly, as soon as, yeah. I'm sure Teeny Tiny knows exactly what we mean. Yeah, yes, Teeny, thank you. I don't understand this. This is just disgusting. Ugh. But ICU sits there and looks people up. Goose. Here's the thing. They threaten, okay? But at the end of the day, remember, they sit here and brag about all their businesses, their money, their assets, and they're the ones doing dirty deeds. There is businesses associated with these people. There is a lot of people that would be very highly disappointed in their behaviors if their personal lives ever got leaked. There is a lot of damage that would be done if it got on a personal level for many of them, because many of them would be going dark to cover their own asses, because many of them do have businesses, careers, their husbands have money, things of that nature. They do have stuff like that. So that's why they go on a personal level, is to shut people up.
That is, I mean, we've contacted, how should I put it, ICU?
We've taken all the proper steps to confirm it,
right,
to be sure it was okay to release.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, that's.
So did you take the same steps that you took to confirm Marvon's passing for this one, ICU, since you were in on that one too? You want to talk about that with the crowd for a minute? Do you guys remember that she's the one that co-signed that and was sitting right there in the lawn chair next to Molly and Justin? When Jill, I see where you're at all the time too, lurking around in chats. You ain't smooth or slick and your alt sucks ass. Constance Sue, that's what I don't get. Like, it doesn't seem to, it just empowers people, in my opinion. Yeah, it seems stupid. I don't know. He doesn't, Ice Queen, it's because he doesn't even know what his point is. No, you're good. Bad Apple, you're totally good. I'm just in a mood because this is disgusting. This man was like, honestly, a true victim of tragedy pimping, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And nobody talks about it. And I get it, it's because of respect to his family, but these fuckers should be held to the fire for this. You don't just get to go around doing this to families. It does, oh, my Lanta. It does for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, it does create havoc.
We've just done everything we can that we know that is right, and to respect the family.
Right. The family is, obviously, there's a lot of sadness, anger, and questions. And I wanted to be like the first one to put it out. That way
you're the first one to get the clicks and the views, because you're a piece of fucking shit, Justin. God. How they sleep at night? I might need a brownie for a midday snack. This is absolutely just...
This is a non-disputable. We do not know exactly what happened.
They're waiting on the toxicology reports and, the autopsy.
Yes, we are waiting on all of that. Yes, I think that...
Who is she? Who is this bitch? And why are we not on her ass just as hard as the rest of them? So many of them get passes because there's so many of them. That's the freaking disgusting part, is there's so many of them and so few of us willing to call out their shit. And there is a bunch of them. Solo, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the same thing, and I just barely started to look into this. Constance Sue, you know who else does that? There's a lot of them. I think that's a Molly trick, that they go, like, they pay people off. They send super chats. They send cash apps with notes attached. They pay people to spread content. They pay people to do their dirty work. Ha, blank screen. Maybe you should send her a bag of dicks to her email address. So every day when she opens her email, it just pops up with a bouquet every day for her. A lasagna kind of does. Yes, he was, in my opinion too, just from the very little, like this. I'm so disgusted right now. So disgusted. This man, they just, no concern. No concern. Yeah. Oh, my Lanta. I saw her, and then the curling Kuyu, whatever, that one too. Hail to the no spoony, Cindy. Those bitches don't have backbones. They'd never come over here.
That's a great comment. Jose was the one person who told us who Summer was. And regardless of how, he passed, Jose was struggling with, mental health, obviously, and he was deeply hurt about this happening with Summer. He was hurt that he was being blamed.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. No shit. Can you imagine? Oh, wait, they've done it time and time again. I'll go look. Mellow One, thank you for letting me know. I'll go look. I haven't really checked her out. I have had so little time. That's why I'm so late on the draw. That's why I bring these videos up and say, hey, I need a history lesson. I need help. I have questions, because it's easier to ask a lot of you OGs who know this shit than to dig through hundreds of hours of their content, because freaking disgusting.
But we also, told him that this was kind of par for the course with, YouTube, but we don't know that this is self-inflicted. So we cannot say that. The last time we talked to him on here was not too long ago. He had just gotten a job. He was very, very excited about getting a job. I bought him shoes for his work because his work requires.
So they announced that the man has passed away. And now they're going to go on and list all the things that he did for them, for him. Me. I did this. I did that. Pat me on the back. I'm a savior. I'm this, Meanwhile, I used this man for content and was paying him for content to drag him all over the internet and help these stories get kicked off and drug all over. Meanwhile, knowing that he was dealing with mental health, as we heard Goose say, oh, he's in great contact with his therapist. Fuck you, Goose. Fuck you, Goose. This man's dead. And you dumb mofos continue to exploit mental illness. Not even just victims, mental illness, time and time again. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. That's what they said, Constance Sue. Allegedly, I should say. Let's put that out there. This is disgusting. Yeah, oh my Lanta, addiction. The astronaut, it was a troll account of Michelle Sabate. It wasn't even her account. I knew it right off the bat. That's why I laughed and was like, and I instantly pulled it up on my phone. It wasn't hers. That's why I held and went silent for a minute when that came on, because I grabbed my phone to check it to see what page it linked to. It was a troll account. They're just trying to start shit between Michelle, you, and me again. Same old shit. Yeah, it was a troll. We all checked it right away. So I can see why. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is just sick. Mello, I think this is probably one of the saddest parts of this that I've found yet that they've done, to be honest. This has been one of the worst pieces of it that I've found. How smug they are. And they, you don't hear them their piece is done. It's just wash, rinse, repeat. And it makes me sick that she did this to this. They did this to this case. I'm assuming Molly was involved with this too, just more maybe she maybe took the background on some of this and he took the foreground, kind of like they did back and forth with the Marbon shit too. I'm sure she had a piece in this because this is all her too. Same group of people. Moonlight, I checked out some of their videos. I actually really like some of their videos. So far, what I saw was good. Absolutely disgusting. Thank you, Constance Sue. I'll go look that up too. Oh, this is just disgusting. So his channel was Juju, I'm wondering. Kim, that's a good point. You guys want to watch some more of this? This is just, they didn't even really take a time off. I mean, that happened in May. This happened in May. So they drug this out till what, June? And then July 6th is when they picked up the Marvon story. Wow. And that's what they've been trying to get. He's been trying to milk this Idaho 4, and I am on that ass. Like, I am done already with that. No, it's me, Heather. He never does. He never does.
For him to have the non-slip shoes, and I purchased him the shoes, and he was very excited about starting his job. And he had told me that he had just got back in contact with his son. I think he had said that on a live too, if I'm correct. I see. And he
Isn't it ironic too that as soon as somebody passes away that they've had direct contact with, they tell all of these stories? I could have sworn I just heard Molly do it to Aaron, but maybe I'm wrong. Freaking time and time again, wash, rinse, repeat. It's getting old. But why do they keep getting away with it? It's got to end. It's got to end. And they think we're all just insane for thinking that they're pushing people too far, that they're taking this to lengths that they shouldn't. Okay.
was excited about talking to his grandchild. His grandchild meant everything in the world to him. And, you know, it's very sad. 1 second. So that is really all of the information we know. The family is asking, begging to please leave them be while they grieve, which I think anybody with a heart should respect. You know, I know there's going to be a lot of talk about this, but I have a rule that the dead should not be spoken about. It's my rule. It's not anybody else's. It's a free country. I get it. But you know, the dead should. They're in. You know, they can't defend themselves or anything. So.
What is happening here? I'm trying to do something and I can't do it. I was going to show you guys something with my camera. This is insane. How? You should not speak on the dead. What? I have a book that talks about trauma, and I was going to show you guys the cover of it, but yeah, he says the family wants to be left alone, but he wanted to be the first to break it. Make it make sense, people. Like, they did this to Letitia, Marvon's family, things they've done to Dre. Like, I'm just astounded right now. I need to figure out how to switch my camera. It's front facing on my Mac. I don't know if I can flip it reverse or not. I don't know. I don't know how this fucking thing works, but I'll figure it out and then I'll show you guys this book. Yeah, Michael Vaughn's parents, they did too. I saw that. Nikki, he was. Goodness. Pugs, it is cold. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking so many breaks with this, but this is really like Amethyst. I was freaking out on earlier when I stumbled across this, and I'm just disgusted. Like, I know it's not confirmed of how his cause of death. There's, many different rumors out there, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Even if this man had a heart attack, what happened to him on social media was not okay. Does that make sense? Like, there is such a thing of people dying of a broken heart too. Like, that's a very real thing. And at the end of the day, this is continued exploitation of victims, their families, people around them, anybody that they decide is going to be put on a suspect list that they can use for content, they do. Even if the people aren't even semi-close to the situation, they will link it up, just like Justin did yesterday, and I'm sure he got his information from ICU. By the way, ICU, touch me. I dare you. I'll touch you right back. And that's not a threat. That's a promise. And I'm talking about, I'll shake your hand in court. I won't threaten you. I won't even sue anybody. But I'll see you when Molly gets to go in, because you're going to be a character witness of hers, I'm sure. I'll shake your hand. They're not Solo. I am blown on this case. Blown away. I cannot understand. Yeah, ICU. Yeah, because she's a doxer. And I'm so sick of all these people being like, oh, so-and-so. All of them that came out of this camp, Penelope, are the same fucking way. They instantly go real life. That's why I don't like the bitch, because she was working with all of them on the back end. She was Molly's little buddy for a long time. The whole threatening shit, she did that to me. That's why I don't like her, okay? I don't like ICU or Goose either, because they've been doing dirty shit. When they can't get somebody to shut up, they go right at their direct life. They all behave the same. That whole crew, the whole heels on the ground, fake bullshit, whatever they are, from top to bottom, needs their asses wiped. Yeah, Constance Sue, that is a very valid point, because these victims and these families are going through the worst things. They're losing people. They've lost somebody's still missing. Their brains are taking up what they need to take up. So there hasn't been somebody that came in and cleaned house. But I'm really holding out hope with the Idaho 4, because I think there might be biting off more they can chew here. And Ethan's mom gave me so much hope when she spoke on this case in the beginning of it, that they wanted to be the voice of Ethan, and they were trying to get ahead of misinformation themselves. So that gives me hope that maybe, and law enforcement is finally really getting fed up too. Wow. Oh, my Lanta. I didn't know that. Sunshine, I'm surprised so too. I'm surprised. Yeah, this is just sick. This is sick. Okay, let's listen to a little bit more, y'all. I don't want to like open up wounds for this man's family either. Let's be very clear on that. Like, I know that I can't even imagine what they've gone through. So I don't want to open wounds for them, because I'm sure it's been chaos nonstop. I will never reach out to a family member. I never even reached out to Letitia. I responded to Letitia, but I never reached out to her myself. I don't get down like that. That's not what I do. So please understand when I say this clearly, don't go harassing them. Like, we don't need to open this wound up for his family to be able to talk about what sick, disgusting bullshit the misinformation cronies, tragedy pimps, whatever you want to call them, continue to do. We can talk about that without disrespecting their families and or bringing them more harm. They've already been done dirty enough. It's time for us to stand up and advocate for these families. to actually advocate for these families instead of exploiting these families. And some of you that claim you stand against people need to check yourselves, because a lot of the distractions that are going on are only helping them further their narratives. And that's fact. Constance Sue, I read that in the Reddit forum today. Thank you for coming in and like laying down some facts along with Oh My Lanta and everybody else that's been talking in here. I really appreciate that. Yeah, a voice for hope. That's sad. This is just freaking insane.
So kindness matters. And, you know, as the days unfold and the toxicology comes back, the autopsy comes back, you know, we'll know more. Is this real? Sadly, yeah, it's definitely real.
So another one of their, just trust me, believe me, we're not going to show you any confirmation of anything, but we're saying it so it's fact, right? And then they pulled this on Marvon in November. I am mind blown right now. I am so sick. Sunshine, thank you. And I'm really sorry about your loss. I thank you for speaking up and saying something. And yes, this is why we're talking about it. This all is exploitation of mental illness. There is like 60% more of the population currently that needs therapy services that can't access them right now too, after the pandemic, through the pandemic. Think about that. There's 60% more need that is unable to, like, there's no way there's enough help. It's not possible. And then you have people out here who exploiting victims like this. Sorry, Teeny, again. Thank you for sticking around and understanding. I get heated. Actually, usually I'm pretty not heated. I'm getting more and more disgusted with certain people's behaviors, and then I kind of freak out. But thank you for allowing me to apologize. I will read better next time. Yeah, Miss Lee, 100%. No, Sunshine, there is no confirmation that that has ever been proven. There is no fact to that whatsoever. Two skulls, one swing. I'm sorry that you had to go through it too. And here's the other thing too, just so everybody knows, like when I make a blanket statement about like, how can you support that? I get it that you get wrapped up in it in the heat of the like the moment of these cases, and you kind of overlook a lot of things. I totally understand that. I've been there, done that. But after time and time again, this is multiple cases that they've done the same thing to. So I know everybody has to learn at their own pace. And I totally get that. So I'm not being shitty to everybody. You're welcome to talk here if you used to follow them. If you still do, and if you have questions, like, please feel free to talk, communicate, whatever. I'm not calling you all idiots. I'm specifically talking about this group, and the group that has been attacking me on their behalf time and time again, daily, over and over again. And by the way, if you guys continue to attack my looks, I'm going to continue to mock yours. Like my smart ass ways. Instead of going at your looks, I just go at your frosted hair tips. That's next up on Snarkmas, by the way. 100 different photos of how not to frost your tips for the holiday season. You're welcome. But I am like, I'm done. I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done with the people. I've got a clip of another channel last night speaking up, like praising Molly. How? Do you guys not see what they're doing to families? And tell me, what for? For content, for clicks and views.
Unfortunately.
So, you know, Jose literally just cried talking about Summer. He did fail Summer, just like everyone else did around her. But I can tell you that he
So supposedly this man has passed away, and this mofo is going to sit here and still place blame on this man. I'm done. Totally done. Taken out. Totally done. Didn't he just say he would not speak on the dead? Did I just like eat a brownie that had something else in it or something? Because I can't be hearing what he just said right. Did I hear that right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, I wish I could say I was hallucinating right now and this didn't just happen. Yeah, thank you. Oh, my Lanta. I knew, like, this man doesn't have a fucking brain cell between those ears, though. Let's be honest. It's just hot air. Coming right up, Amethyst. I think we need him at this point. I don't know. Now I see why so many of you are angry assholes. I get it. Dealing with these people, I can see for this long. I can only imagine. Yeah, yep. He's put, sure is. Let's continue.
loved everyone there for the short period that he was there.
And, you know, I would like for his legacy for us to be, you know, the things that he told us that we didn't know about Summer.
Mm-hmm. That's a great way of putting it. I see you.
And
I'd like to stick my foot in your fucking mouth, I see you. How about that? How about that? That's what I'd like to do. How dare you say that you want his legacy to be? You don't get to decide. Who are you? A freaking troll who doxes people on the internet. Yay! Life Achievement Award. I do such good things for the community. I dox people on the internet. I don't know if I'll be able to share all of we all need them. We all need the brownies, but I might eat them all. Yeah, curious. Absolutely. How dare these people? I forgot they self-appoint themselves as the voice for everybody. Oh, Nikki, that just makes me sick. Yeah, Solo, I saw that too.
I mean, I don't even know how to say this really. He just showed us what a beautiful little girl she was in the same light that her parents should have.
Yeah.
And for that, I appreciate him, you know, and that's what I want him to be remembered for.
He really animated Summer. You know what I mean? He put her into, you know, because everybody else never explained Summer the way Jose explained Summer, and B, you know, there was a lot of, you know, just saying that Summer didn't really speak a lot, or you know, and that kind of stuff. And Jose was just kind of like, well, that's not true. You know, Summer wouldn't be quiet. So I appreciate him for that. Yes, Linda, he made Summer more real to us.
I bet I could go back and watch these interviews that they did with him, and I bet there's a whole lot of them talking over him and putting words in his mouth and like directing a narrative. I bet you $20 that we could go back and watch them, which I don't want to do because I don't want to have to put, I don't want to open up wounds for his family either. That's definitely not the intent. But I bet these guys totally guided him in a certain direction. Hey, Keith. Thanks for stopping in. This is disgusting. And tell me again how Court TV has used any of these fools as experts or come on, whatever what are they called? I don't even know what they call them because I don't watch that shit. Hey, Wild Fox, you can go, baby. I got one. Yeah, Solo, I will. This is so disgusting. Yeah, so disgusting. Oh, they went that far with him? Holy shit. This is deep shit. This is disgusting. These people would go to any lengths. Hasn't Molly been on Court TV or used as like quoted? Haven't a few of these people that run around with them? Or maybe not. Was JLR? I can't imagine if Betty would ever be used on there, but maybe she has been. I don't know. Pugs, that's interesting. Why does she name drop Vinny like she does then? And say that he's in her back pocket? Yeah, Nikki, I think so too. I bet I don't even have to watch it to think that. Frustrated. I saw some of that today. Mocus, how could it not be at this point? If I could like write, like you don't need a script. This right here is documentary worthy of how these absolute shit shows destroy victims in their cases, from their cases in the court systems to prosecutors being able to prosecute these cases, interfering with actual cases, to exploiting the victims' families, creating fake evidence, manufacturing things. Like this is something that definitely deserves to be shown. 100%. But what they want is a documentary or a Netflix series of how amazing and what wonderful things they do for humans. If I could write, like, I would absolutely shoot this. But I don't have the slightest clue of where to start. But this is like, yeah, there is so much here. And that's why I'm saying, like, the crossover of when people think it's just like this little drama thing. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. And that drama shit is all just a distraction in the bigger picture. And that's why we step around and maneuver, because let them play their stupid little games. That we're not on that level. And then we just keep it moving because there's a big picture here. And this is a well-oiled exploitation machine, in my opinion. It is becoming a well-oiled exploitation machine. And sadly, it's exploiting mental illness time and time again. What? Yeah, I don't think they have, like, I don't know if any of them have crazy records or anything like that. And that's one thing, like, they try to hold over everybody's heads is court records and stuff and people's past and stuff. That's at the end of the day, no. Miss Lee, I think I've heard that she said that, but I'd love to. Maybe I should watch her. I don't really watch much of that shit. Oh, Dolly was on there. Okay. Oh, Amy, that's interesting that they might have deleted it. They've never solved the case. All they've ever done is hinder. Yes. Oh, my Lanta. Thank you. They are chaos agents. That's exactly what they are. By the way, I'm seeing a bunch of new names today in chat that I've never seen before. If you've been here before and just now talking, thanks for coming back. If it's your first time here, thank you for being here and giving me a shot to even talk shit. I have a lot of questions because, like I said, I'm brand new to YouTube just with this Marvon story. But as we've been going, there's been so much more. And I'm the type that wants to hear from others who have been here and know what's going on, because this has been so much bullshit and it's continued. True love has four. That's very true. And if you think about it, for instance, Twitch from yesterday, rest in peace to him, and prayers to his family. I can't even imagine what they're going through. Like, the holidays are a hell of a time for a lot of people. And you just don't know what somebody else is going through. You never know. And I've sat here and watched so many of these people arrogantly sit here and say that they will never, this person, XYZ will never do something. XYZ will never do this something. And it's not specifically about one person. Time and time again, Goose was, you know, overreaching on her, oh, he's greatly connected with this therapist, kind of giving people a false hope, in my opinion, with her statement even about Jose. And they do that time and time again. But at the same time, they're making situations so much worse for these people. And you don't know what they're going through. You have no idea. But we're going to continue to push these people. Push and push and push. It makes no sense. Oh, it's so disgusting. Slim, I don't even know who that is. I've heard the name mentioned in some of these videos and stuff. I don't know much about the Summer Wells case itself. I've got the big picture of it, you know, not the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts, because that was way before my time on YouTube. But it's horrifying. This piece of it, the exploitation of this case, has been absolutely horrifying to see. Yes, thank you. And thank you, mods. Of course, all of you guys are amazing. I forget that because on my computer, you guys, I can't tell anybody different. I have to look at my other device to see who's got wrenches, and I forget who's even mods in here at the time because it's just always so consistent. Oh, okay, he's the head of the county. Hey, Revival. This is just, yeah. Yeah, the Twitch situation is very sad. That's why we've got to continue. Like, things are happening. If you watch Molly, her numbers are coming down. She's itching to try and glom onto another case. Y'all, I'm done reviewing Spanky and ICU. I can't. I'm sorry. I know my limits, and I'm at it today with them already. Between the drama and then the weeding through the bullshit, it's so heavy. And then to find out that this man potentially, you know, allegedly, we don't know his cause of death. I will say that because there's been many different things that have been said, and even Reddit says it's unclear as of right now or whatever, which is fine. That's totally privacy. It shouldn't have to be out here. But no matter what, at the end of the day, they did a horrible number to this man's life and caused him significant heartache and grief, to where no matter what, this man suffered greatly. And then within a month and a half after doing this, announcing his passing, like it was some prize that they were winning, they rolled right into Marvon's story. Time and time again. Oh, wow. Wow. And he only had to serve one. Yeah, this is what we were talking about yesterday. Small town politics and law enforcement at times can be different. Yes, frustrated. Yep. It seems like that is definitely, and people get burnt out, I'm sure. Like, this is heavy. This is heavy. Oh, Constance Sue, if that's who, that's, you are, hats off to you. I couldn't cover that little slime ball. I've said a few things, but hats off to you because, I, please go check out Constance Sue has something to say, y'all. If you don't already follow you or follow her, him, I don't have a clue. I'm just talking up my ass. Yes. Oh, yeah, we watched the celebrating BJ's arrest. We watched that. Two skulls, one swing. There has been no confirmation of that whatsoever. One way or the other, we don't know. Yeah, Nanya, it could be. This is really sad. He calls you a troll, but I take it as a compliment if I get called a troll because I'm like, hey, that's okay. That means I'm a thorn in your ass and you remember me. Yeah, oh, my lambda. Okay, that makes sense. That's just like what we were talking about, the small town politics and what I was saying of how I was really proud of how Idaho was actually handling this, considering it can be very small townish up there too. Justin privacy struck every video you did on Jose. Jose, just an FYI, 3 taken down. Wow, heels in the air. Wow. Wow, this is insane. Um, just another troll. I don't know if you would call that defending him, what she's been doing. What would you guys say in the chat that have caught it? Why would they strike those? Has he struck any of your other ones, heels in the air, or just those 3? Mhm. Yeah. Oh, Mayalenta. Yep, definitely. I agree with that. I think she's just using it for content right now to kick stuff up. Both the names on that. Huh. That's really interesting. So every time somebody does a video that they don't like, they strike them. Hmm. This is wild. Yep, I agree with that, Amy. 100%. Oh, Diamond Cutter. Hey, I started from 0 too with a tiny I think I had like 30 followers on my backup page on Facebook, and my main page is tiny on Facebook too. I was a tiny little channel. I just started putting videos out, and I don't even know how people found me, to be honest. My Facebook page was itty bitty and my YouTube, but I just kept pumping out content and not shutting up, and it's just going, you know. It's here we are. It'll kick off for sure. You've been at it a long time. People will really appreciate your history and your knowledge, I'm sure. They'll come find you. Solo, that seems like the case. Okay, well, I'm gonna put this on my backup channel too. I'll download it and put it on my backup channel too. And I'll maybe put another couple channels out there. I'm not shutting up. Try it. There's a way of they try to privacy strike for information too. And I actually have the attorney's information to help with that. Curious, yes, you have. Craziness. This is just absolute insanity. Sorry, that was heavy one, and I brought up a sore topic for some of you because some of you guys know a lot about this case, but I hope you feel heard. I'm going to do a little bit more digging on this, and we're going to continue to talk on this because I want to find out more, and if there's anything. Did anybody follow up? I mean, I'm sure. No, I'm not going to say that out loud. I can't even imagine what this poor family went through. I'm just like, this is wild. And nobody knows. Nobody really knows what happened here, huh? I feel like this is open-ended still. This whole story right here. It just feels really unsettling to me, this whole Jose story and his family. I feel so bad for. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna hop off here. I don't know what else to say. Oh, where are you? Yes, Constant Sue. Yes. Where did that go? I think that's, yeah. There's somebody sent me some information of how to fight it, and said, don't you dare, don't, nonsense on the web, web at Gmail. They said, don't give in. And I haven't gotten one, not one. But they said to, thank you, Nanya. They said to fight everything because the way I do it and I break it up, I fit into the fair use stuff. So I'll just put it on my backup channel too. We're not done talking. I'm not done talking about this shit. Sorry, not sorry. Bring it. Bring it. ICU and Goose can bring it. They're on my list. And we're still doing the 100 days of frosted tips because they're bad and they went out with the 90s. Maybe that's why he's a part of her little groupie, is because he's a part of her boy band fantasies or something. I don't know. Yes, so they can, that's what they do with the privacy claims, is they use that to try and get people's information. And that's why, like, well, we have an LLC, I guess I could put it in. I didn't even think about that. I haven't, I'm not monetized even, y'all. Like, I don't even have monetize. So I don't know how that works on striking non-monetized channels or whatever, but strike away. I have a backup channel. I ain't going anywhere. We're not shutting up. I'll just do another video over and over and over again. You ain't gonna stop everybody out here. Yes. Okay. Oh, my Lanta. That's what I heard too. Thank you, Rachel. I'm sorry this is really personal for a lot of you. I saw a lot of emotion in a lot of your guys' comments, and I feel like this is kind of an open-ended story that bothered a lot of you, and I didn't mean to open a wound for anybody, but this needs to be talked about. These stories need to be discussed. Something has to fucking change, and we have got to do something about it. Like, sitting by and, you know, more people are more interested in the fucking drama over the dumbest shit. It's absolutely insane, than they are about talking about how sad and crazy this actually is. None. I got some buckshot. I'm just joking. Total joke. Total joke. Bad joke. Shouldn't have said that. Fuck. Duck hunting on the Nintendo was one of my favorite games, though, ever. The little duck hunt game. Yes. Yep, Mocus, that's for sure. CM is the one that got the information. He admitted to it. My video about that is still live. CM. Chris McDonough. Is that who you mean by CM? Heels in the Air? I think that's what we were talking about in the beginning. I was asking, you know, kind of where they came from because I wasn't sure. And they said Chris McDonough, and then Spanky and him. Spanky was talking about it in this clip too, about how Chris kind of headed this story with that. Yeah. Okay. I'll go watch your video too. That's what they were coming to in the comments over here. Was that they all kind of worked as like a little crony group. And then there was other offsets of it that ran with a bunch of misinformation too and did horrible shit. Yeah, Solo, that's what they've been doing. That's why we just pivot and move on. Pivot. Wow, that's crazy. They go super low. It's interesting too, Heels. I was just saying that yesterday about we were talking about it because we were reviewing one of his other videos, Spanky's videos, and we were talking about how he supposedly found the glove in Idaho too. Like all of these people continually are linked into like Joseph Scott Morris. He's been involved in multiple, and been called out multiple times on pretty big things. And a lot of these other guys have been involved in significant pass outs of misinformation. And some of these guys have big platforms and not many people will call them out either. It's all about numbers out here though, I guess. Yeah, there is so many of them. And they get built up because they provide just enough drama that people buy into it. And people like that insane over the top speculation at times too, and it really draws people in. It's a hard one because it becomes a numbers thing. Catherine, you're not the first person I've heard say that actually. I've heard multiple people say that about him, that they just don't get he must have just hit it. Yeah, he's still here. I didn't even think he actually was gone. But I was hopeful, but then he must have just privatized it. It looks like he took a bunch of videos down too. He's a piece of crap. Nunny, I don't know what this is. I don't even know why I'm here today. I was on a totally different mission. I was in like a good mood. You should see the screenshots I took. I was taking a screenshot of every video of his lives over the last year because I'm just going to do a little snark on him. Anyways, I came across this and this is where I derailed for the day. So now I'm just kind of here thinking about going and eating a brownie early, but I can't. I got responsibilities. So I can only eat them at night to go to bed. Yeah. Mystical, I don't know much about him either. But what I do know isn't good. Diamond Cutter. I did hear that. In fact, I have that video. Yeah, he's just as slimy. Absolutely as slimy. Can you tell us when Snarkmas today? I don't know if it will be posted today or not, Nanya. It depends on if I get to it. I really derailed today. I was on a mission. You might get a no voiceover. I like those, though. I like the no me talking ones at times. Diamond Cutter, I agree. I totally agree. Hey, Crispy. All right, y'all. I am going to get out of here. We've been here for almost 2 hours again. These are getting longer and longer every time I find another rabbit hole, but this is just pissing me off. If you have information that you want me to look at on this or things that you want me to talk about that you think need to be talked about with this, please send them to me. I will definitely research it myself and gladly talk about it. We have to continue to talk about this. And Jose deserves this. No matter the situation, Jose and his family deserve for people to know that he was done this way by these people. That's who needs justice. That's who deserves justice on top of Summer. But Jose, his family. Like, this is just ridiculous. Oh, Crispy, no. Crispy, no. Oh, yes, please go check out Everything Go Lightly. That clip channel is badass. Yes, very good clip channel. I wouldn't even call it a clip channel because they're like doing full-on videos with commentary and they're badass. Like, don't compete with them. They are good. Oh, thanks, Hope. I'm okay. It's just like I just get more and more frustrated. Like, I'm a very passionate person about certain things, and this is one of them. Like, mental illness is a big thing to me. Exploiting mental illness is a big thing to me. The fact that people laugh about people on the edge and you just don't really know. So for us to try to be the judge of who is on that edge and what is the edge for others is not cool. Like all of this stuff. And then knowing that they're falsifying information about people, their stories, creating stories, doing things like this to these people, it just gets to be too much. These people exist and they are genuinely evil. They are no different in a lot of ways than the people that commit these crimes. They're just not getting caught. In my opinion, they do just as much damage. If you think about it, some of their damage has more victims than a person that does a single crime at times. Oh, my Lanta, that's what I've heard. I've heard that. Yeah, Mocus, that's exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just not, I'm just not okay with it. I'm not okay with any of this shit, and I will continue not to be okay with it. And fuck anybody that is okay with this stuff. And I stand on that. Yeah. See, a lot of you guys have the same feelings. That's why I'm so glad to know that I haven't, Amy. I've talked about her a little bit, but I haven't really caught her, or I don't really talk about her. I came into this talking about specifically one case. So that kind of took me through the Katie Joy, Molly Spanky, which is Justin and L sector at first. So I haven't ventured out into like the world of many of these tragedy pimps because of where I was headed with that story. But this is kind of off of that, I guess, because of just where we've headed. It's just been kind of a weird thing, but I have not covered her. My Facebook page or email is fine. So it's nonsense on the web at gmail.com, or my Facebook page is nonsense on the web. Is it 2.0? It's in my bio on YouTube. You can message me on my Facebook page too. I just post dumb shit on Facebook, and there's a lot of receipts about a lot of stuff from the Marvon story over there too. Weedleby, I need to look into. I haven't even gotten into all of that yet. Like, I barely touched on any of that. Hey, Trisha. Yes, Catherine. That's something that's why I think, like, I have been mocked and said, like, that doesn't happen. It never gets that far kind of thing. And, like, people have really, like, gone at me for my feelings about mental illness and, like, not pushing people. And to find out that this man was pushed like really hard and we don't know ultimately what the outcome was, I think just put me in a really like, fuck you, everybody place today. Heels is a great channel, y'all. Heels is another great channel. Makeup Mobster. Who else is a good channel? There's a lot of them. Welsh, Frick. A lot of these people in here are creators. Don't ask me, ask them, because they know. Forgotten Whispers. they know more about what they post than I do, because I can't keep up. I'll be flat out honest. All right, y'all. I am out. I'm in a bad mood now. I'm not really in a bad mood, but I'm going to try to reset my mind. It's cold as hell here too. I want to go smoke a cigarette, and it's so cold out that I don't even want to go out there. It's that cold. Like, my nose hairs freeze as soon as I walk outside, and I'm not cool with that at all. I need sun. Anyways, okay, this is the Midwest goodbye. This is part of it. If you're new here, I give the most awkward, long ass, annoying goodbyes. I say goodbye like 15 times. It's something I talk with my hands. It's a thing, okay? They make fun of me for it. Get used to it, because it's just a thing. And it obviously does not go away. But I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you to all the new people that have came in today and hung out with us and helped piece some of this together. And those of you that are fighting the good fight, thank you. We will definitely help promote anybody else that is putting videos out there. Share it out, because this needs to be talked about and more people need to know. Oh, Forgotten Whispers just posted a new video too. Go check it out. Crime and Fashion. Is she gone? Catherine, I watched her a couple times and I really liked her. Before I leave, I want to find out what you say, because I swore I swore she wasn't gone, and then maybe I looked for her the other day, though, because she used to do a segment during the day. And she's a pretty lady and funny as hell, smart as a whip. Maybe she isn't gone. If you guys haven't checked out that page, I'll go check. Hold on. Let me go over here. Let me go see if I can find her. I haven't seen her post in a while, though. Oh, you heard she'll possibly be back. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I knew I hadn't seen her lately because I actually specifically went and looked for her channel because that was when I found right in the beginning, and I enjoyed her commentary and I could listen to her when I was doing stuff around the house. So I knew she was MIA. But okay, y'all, okay, perfect. Thank you guys for letting me know that. Yeah, I really like her too. Constance Sue, you guys go check out her Heels on the Ground, Forgotten Whispers, Welsh, all of them. You guys know. Kool-Aid is coming back. I love Kool-Aid, but I love that Go Lightly channel today too. All the time. No, really, Catherine? I didn't know that. Yes, Constance Sue. Oh, I didn't know she got taken during that. Wow. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you again. Contessa, over and out.